Ed Sullivan on the jumbo jet?
Oh, when I spilled a bottle of champagne on the boy.
Yeah.
So we're playing a 6-day gig at a club called The Emergency
In Washington, D.C. Actually, we played 2 weeks there.
Oh, we played 2 weeks. Okay, we followed Bob Seger. He was the...
Now this is all interesting stuff because this leads to the beginning of the Wackers.
It does.
From the hotel.
From the Pentagon Hotel? Ernie and the Incredible Chickens?
Right.
Hey, tell the story.
Okay.
Sorry.
So...
You okay with this?
in the middle of the week, or one of the weeks that we were there, and by the way, we arrived on Thanksgiving Day, and there were no restaurants open, and we ate Tom's corn chips.
But they were Tom's.
They were Tom's corn chips from a machine at the Pentagon Hotel in Arlington, Virginia.
Across the street from the Pentagon.
Right.
Which, by the way, is fucking huge.
I knew we would get hooked up with the Pentagon.
You could see the Pentagon above the trees.
Somewhere in the middle of our run there,
Oh God, I love it.
this group of incredibly gorgeous women came in.
Honduran hand and leg models.
Right. They were Hondurans, they were like 18, 19, 20 years old.
Asked for?
And there was like 6 of them.
She smelled like nutmeg.
And they came into the club, and John Frankenheimer suddenly became Romeo.
Oh, yeah, he was
And he
smooth.
sat down at the table with these girls. Never saw this ever happen before or after. This is our manager, lawyer, who became our lawyer.
Who's now the CEO of Loeb and Loeb.
Yeah, well, he started the entertainment division of Loeb and Loeb, and now is the head of the whole company.
Billionaire.
So he sits down at the table with these girls, and he convinces them that they have to, maybe after the gig, join us for a little tay-to-tay, as it were.
Of course.
And he was he could dance. John could dance.
Well, that
how
I
he
don't
did.
remember, but I didn't realize that. Yeah, well, so he danced with a couple of them,
I
maybe.
think that's how he
Okay.
won him over.
And so here we are in our rented station wagon.
Just to prove it.
We're going from through Washington D.C. because the club is in the city proper,
Corner of Georgetown and 16th.
and all of us have one Honduran model on our lap because there are no places for them to sit.
Of course.
Now John, who instigated this whole thing, is at the wheel of the car.
No Honduran model.
No Honduran model, and yet he has the rear view mirror. And so he's like making eye contact with these girls in the back seat, and just looking around. Something's going to happen tonight.
Slug.
We're driving on Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Right in front of the White House, which is lit up
There it was right there.
like blazing torch. Now, you can't even drive on the street anymore. It's all blockaded now. It's all just a walking area.
I could have thrown a bag of Tom's corn chips and it hit the front.
Exactly. So, we're driving along there, and John's looking in the, making eye contact with the Honduran models, and they're just beautiful legs are stretched out, brown, beautiful legs are stretched out, and we're all going, rock and roll is great. And all of a sudden, we're all thrown forward, and it goes boom, and steam comes up from the engine of the car, and you can't see anything
Exploding.
anywhere. And we're all thrown, and the legs are here, and the legs are there, and we're all kind of going, well, this is kind of nice,
Okay.
except for the necks and the thrown out backs and all of this stuff. And the steam clears, and there's this couple looking at us, holding a Kodak camera. They had stopped their car to take a picture of the White House, and John, not looking
Crashed right
where he
into
was
it.
driving, rear-ended this poor couple, and so immediately all of the police force, the special agents, everybody in the area came
SWAT.
converging on us. And Frankenheimer, who is about to pass the bar, is out there explaining what's going on and who these women were, underage. All these women are in our car. That was truly rock and roll.
He bailed me out of a traffic ticket in LA. That's
He
all I
couldn't
know
bail
about
himself out of a track.
We went to Hughes Market in LA. I love this story so much. we're in his Chevy. He's got a Chevy, right? And we just played. Where were we? I think we were in Long Beach or somewhere. We're coming back from a gig, and a huge market at the corner of Highland and Fountain.
Mm-hmm.
At a liquor
No
store.
longer there.
They were open all night. The liquor store was open until 1. So we drive. We get there. John parks in the parking lot. We all run inside, right? And buy a bottle of Jack and I think a Jeroboam of shampoo. It's ridiculous stuff. Tampon, whatever we get our hands on. And we all come back out to get back in the car, and the car's gone. Well, where's the car? Where's John? Call a cab, which in Hollywood is a 4-hour wait. So we go home, no John. Car's not there, no John. Next day, no John. Day after that, no John. Now you remember.
I didn't remember how it started, but I know what
He
happened
must
from
be
there.
dead. So I called the cops. I called the Hollywood Police Department saying I'd like to report a missing manager. And he said, well, how long has he been gone? He said, 2 days. So we got to wait another day. And I said, no, I'm not going to wait another day. He could be dead for all we know.
I think versus 72 hours.
72 hours, yes. So we wait another fucking day. So it's a Tuesday. I'll never forget it. It's a Tuesday, the day that he's officially missing. And I called him back and he said, oh yeah, he's here. He's the Hollywood. It's like a bus stop, really. So we go to the Hollywood, and we get there and say we want to bail out John Frankenheimer, and he said, well, he's not here anymore. And as they're saying this, he's chained to a bunch of serial killers, and we just see him through the window, right, getting put on the bus.
He's like going in the back window of the bus.
And he's like, he's got the fucking, his fans are, I mean, if we see him, we go, that's him, that's him. Well, we can't help you because he's been moved. Where? I can't tell you that. So another day goes by, nothing, right? I'm flipped out because I don't know, did he kill somebody? We don't, is he we don't know what he is. So the phone rings. The phone rings finally like on a Thursday morning, and I pick up, and he goes, who is it? It's Bobby. It's John. Frankenheimer? I said, where are you? I said, I'm in Van Nuys. That's nice. What are you doing in Van Nuys? I said, I'm in jail. And I said, well, you know, we've been looking for you for 5 days. And he goes, yeah, there's a problem. And I said, what's the way? I said, I'm at a payphone on the 3rd floor of the Van Nuys courthouse. And he said,
He's chained to a murder
he's chained to like a giant murdering person. You know, what's your name? Charlie Manson. Nice to meet you. My name's John.
Yeah, let's make a phone call.
Yeah. So I said,
Oh, no, I can't take it.
how can we find? He said, well, here's the problem. The first call I made on this phone was downstairs, and they say I'm not here. And I said, what do you want us to do? And he said, come to Van Nuys and get me the fuck out of here. So I don't know how we got there. I don't know who drove us, but we went to Van Nuys.
I remember it.
And we picked him
And
up.
you sprung Frank.
He was very upset.
They literally lost him in the system because he said, I'm a lawyer, I know my rights.
Yeah,
and they said, oh, we got one now!
It was for $2,500 worth of parking
tickets, yeah.
Which is why you'll chortle.
Yeah.
When I tell you that the reason I sold my car is because I couldn't pay the $16,000 worth of parking tickets that I've walked on.
Was that the Chrysler?
That was the Chrysler. The Chrysler went away because I just went 16,000. How did that even happen? Anyway, but that we lost John for 5 days. I'll fucking never forget that.
Oh.
It was so mysterious. Go into a liquor store, you come out, your life changes.
Man.
Well, we had some. Remember the mudslides? We're living in this house in Horseshoe Canyon Boulevard in Laurel.
Right across the street from Mickey Dolan's.
And Chuck Barris. And we have this huge fucking mudslide El Nino thing happen. A house goes through our backyard.
That's unusual.
You can't get out of where we are. And the Mickey's house is here, and Chuck Barris' house, his driveway is there. He's up the top of the hill. And the weather, the mud closes his driveway. So you now cannot get to Chuck Barris' house. You don't remember this? So this is 3 or 4 days in, you know. We're fine, they've cleaned the road, but they're still digging stuff out. There's literally a house went right through our backyard. I saw it, I was in the kitchen, I went, that's a house, and it's moving.
There we go.
So Chuck had a swimming pool up there, and every weekend, there'd be 15 cars parked on the street, and hot women would be going up there. They have pool parties and everything, right? So I'm on the porch, and I hear, hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you, man. I'm here on the porch across the street. This is Chuck Barris. Yeah, you guys all right? We're fine. What can I do for you? Send more vodka.
One of the funniest
They're
stories.
waiting for the tractor, the bulldozers to get free to, but that's what he did. It was hilarious. I loved him for that.
One of the great little incidents that happened in that house, which in Horseshoe Canyon Boulevard, right across the street from Mickey Dolan's.
Joni Mitchell was at the top of the street.
Exactly.
Oh,
and that
yes.
pertains to this. So, one day I'm hearing Bob just go, he's just like laughing his ass off from the porch. And I go out there, and Joni Mitchell is carrying 2 big bags of groceries up the street. And Bob is singing, by the time they got to Woodstock, they were 500,000 strong. And she turned around, put her bags down, and went,
You know, she was.
We drove by her one time and did the same thing. All of us hanging out of Frankenheimer's Chevy. By the time she's with that guy with a long white beard and a fucking walking stick, like he was like like Gandalf or something.
She was always gnarly. I remember we were in the.
Fred, you know Fred, her drummer, Freddie from Las Vegas or from Reno.
Fred Gallant.
Fred.
We saw her. I remember seeing her in the Vancouver airport. I forget where we were. And it was Joni Mitchell. And I even have, I think, if not film footage, at least a photograph. And I remember going, fuck, Joni Mitchell. It's Joni Mitchell. Like, this is big. I went, hey, Joni. And she goes, fuck off. And I went, wow, man, like, this is a major, like, star chick. And she, like, told me to get lost. But I remember, I have a picture of her, like really gnarly. And ever since then, I thought, like, well, fuck you, Joni Mitchell. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I still like her. We were.
You know, if I had your stardom, I'd be very happy, you know? But, I don't know, there's something about these Canadian women.
My favorite story of living in that house
Very
was
uptight, I don't know.
Mickey came over. I was reading Wabba by Nick Kent, right?
Yeah.
And I'm reading it, and there's a knock on my bedroom door, and I said, come in. And it's Dolan's, and I'm reading the chapter on the monkeys, which I think is really strange. You remember this?
so I answered the door and let him in.
And he shows up with a jug of Vino de Tavola, a gallon, 99-cent
God,
gallon of
yeah,
wine,
Tavola.
and a bag of pot. And he goes, "Want to get high?" I went, "Yeah, but this is really weird, dude." I'm reading about what a huge fucking star you are. It's a great story. The absolute great story is I'm on the porch again because it was fun to sit on the porch, and Mickey's gates are open, and he's building something in the driveway. So I walk across the street and I go, "What are you doing?" He says, "This is the coolest thing, man. You know the big earthquake's coming. It's all going down, man. The basin's going down. But I bought this thing. It's so cool. I'm putting it together, man. It's a one-man helicopter. And I'm building it, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to keep it in the garage. And when the fucking big one comes, I'm going to roll it out, man. I'm going to get above the turbulence. I'm going to be fine, man. Now send help. You know, if you get on the roof, you guys are in the mountains, so you'll be okay for a while. Yeah, it's great." And I hear this voice going, "Mickey," and I look up. He's married to this beautiful British woman who used to host like a Ready Steady Go show in England. Her name was Samantha. I don't remember her last name. And she says, "How many passengers does that helicopter carry?" And Mickey goes, "I'll talk to you tomorrow, man." And you know, I saw him when he was here in Aida, and I wanted to talk to him about a couple of things, those stories, and you jam with, you know, at
The water gun, the water
we were
gun
at the
fights.
Studio C with him,
Yeah.
and he, you know, I know, I don't recall that. I'm going.
Yeah, no, they had quite a career, so a lot of shit happened, but
Well,
the water
Randy,
gun fight was a classic.
when,
The water
when
gun
we were
fight?
living there, do you remember the moon landing?
The moonlight.
The moon landing.
July 16th.
We're living in Horseshoe Canyon Boulevard, and it's June, whatever it was, when they landed on the moon, right? Cronkite, and it's on TV, and Frankenheimer's riveted to the TV. You remember what we did? We went out, we went drinking. John says, "We've landed on the moon." We all went, "Gas cold." We're
go
rock
get
stars,
one.
dude. And off we went to Figaro's. Left Figaro.
I remember watching that thing in San Francisco right from the beginning. And Mark Pearson was sitting there being totally cynical. What do we need a moon landing for? Like, it's like millions of dollars wasted, man.
It's all about the cheese, dude.
Yeah,
It's all about the cheese.
I'm sitting there thinking, what a fucking dickhead.
Who needs a drink?
I do not.
And why?